What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another scooter video. My name is Chase Ross if you guys are new to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining to you guys why I use an action sports camera, and I'm going to give you a bunch of reasons why you guys should use an action sports camera. Now you guys might be thinking you have to be some kind of crazy action sports enthusiast that jumps out of helicopters or makes video content on the daily to own an action sports camera, or at least have any reason to own an action sports camera. But that's just simply not true. I've come across so many reasons why an action sports camera has been so beneficial to my progression in riding and just everyday life that I want to share with you guys. Now, to really punch it in and tell you guys why an action sports camera is so important, from this point on, I'm only going to film this video on this camera right here. Now, the reason I'm specifically saying action sports camera as opposed to a specific brand name like GoPro or something like that is because this is not a review for the action sport camera. This video is specifically about trying to help you guys understand why you guys want to get an action sports camera. But now, without any more hesitation, let's dive into reason one. I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys why it's so important to have an action sports camera instead of just explaining it. So, for obvious reasons, I'm literally riding out back by myself right now, which means I don't have to have a filmer. You guys are literally just chilling on my head as I ride and have a session. The amount of times that I go up to a skate park and have a solo session is uncountable. Almost every single time I go up to the park, if there's no one with me and I want to film, I bust out the action sports camera because, well, I can literally just put on my head or my chest or my actual scooter and get any clip that I really want to get, while also adding a tasteful taste that not everybody gets to see every day. Now, if that huge reason right there isn't enough to make you want to buy an action sports camera, buckle up because we're diving into reason two. By now, most action sports cameras have built-in microphones, which is a huge plus because that means for people that want to get into vlogging or just get better at communicating, maybe to a camera, because it's like not an actual person. Talking to a camera, by the way, is one of the hardest things ever because this camera that I'm looking at right now is not giving me any facial expressions. All I got right there is a little lens that I'm looking into and trying to have a full conversation with while getting absolutely no feedback until it's uploaded, of course. But most action sports cameras have a microphone built in by now. We're in 2022, which means a lot of the cameras out there are actually kind of cheap and they have a pretty quality camera. Right now, I'm using a GoPro Hero 6, which is like 6 years old at this point, and the camera on this thing is actually not too bad. I put a wind deflector on here and I can talk, I can move really fast, and you guys don't hear a lot of wind, and you guys can clearly hear me. Of course, if I had a whole mic set up, it would probably be better, but if you guys are just trying to dive into the vlogging world and just want to talk to your camera, buying an action sports camera is probably going to be the easiest way to possibly do it. Not to mention, it has such a super wide angle view, it allows you to literally just point the camera at your face and know you're in frame. Before I give you the next reason to get an action sports camera, I want to get a line real quick, and then we'll dive into reason number three. Now I'm out of breath, we can talk about reason three. So, as you guys saw right there, I just literally did like 50 angles in a matter of like 30 minutes, and I got an entire line filmed and made a little mini edit right there. Pretty cool, right? All that was done with literally just my action sports camera. So, let's go ahead and talk about the third reason to get an action sports camera. As you guys just saw, I got a lot of angles with one camera. There was a couple angles that I crammed into behind the ramp or maybe even on the coping that I wouldn't be able to get with a DLSR. By no means would you want to set your camera up close enough to have a wheel come and hit your lens of your camera. I can promise you're not going to want to put a $1,000 or maybe a $2,000 camera in the line of fire like that. Whereas an action sports camera, like my GoPro right here, has like a hard external shell that can be hit multiple times or drop multiple times, like I've unfortunately done. You can try to do a lot of damage to them and they can hold up. So when it's on your head and you're doing some crazy stuff, maybe you take a hard slam, you don't really have to worry about your camera. Try attaching a DLSR to the top of your helmet and then doing a flare and not having it snap off and break. So that right there is a huge pro of not only being able to place your camera in super tight places that you can't fit a big camera, but also being able to fit your camera in a tight enough spot where it could be hit. That right there is a huge reason to get an action sports camera. GoPro, stop recording. Oh yeah, and that right there brings me on to reason number 4. I literally just spoke to my GoPro and said, hey GoPro, stop recording. A lot of new action sports cameras actually have the voice activation feature just like that. So that's a huge pro. You can literally set your camera over here, and instead of like wasting like a 30-second clip of just nothingness, you can literally holler from like over there and say, GoPro, stop recording, and it's gonna listen to you. There's quite a few action sports cameras that do that now. The one specifically that I can think of is GoPro because I'm literally using it right now. But any other brand that I can find that does, I'm gonna go just put it on the screen right now for you guys to see. But like I said before, this isn't a review, so I'm not gonna get into the specs of each camera. I just wanted to point out that a lot of action sports cameras have the ability to speak to tell it to record and stop recording. Darn, I literally just did it again. Okay, I'm gonna like end this reason real quick because I can't stand saying the words that turn my camera off and stop recording. Reason number 5. This one's actually the reason why I'm filming today's video in the first place. I wasn't for sure what I wanted to do today or how I wanted to ride, and honestly, I was just feeling really unmotivated to even get out the door and go out back and ride on the half pipe. Some days are just like that, and it makes it real. Oh, come on. I'm out of breath. I gotta talk this step through without riding. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Some days I just don't feel like riding, and I'm a little unmotivated to go out and progress my skills, which is kind of like a bummer. I mean, I love skiing so much, and so much of my life every single day. But that being said, sometimes I get in ruts where I'm like, man, I don't really feel like riding today, or I don't want to put my body through the injuries that could potentially keep me from riding, so I just like don't ride altogether. And let me just say right there, that is a bad rut to get into. So one way I've really found the way to get around that is to create videos for you guys. I really enjoy sharing my passion because I'm so incredibly passionate about scootering and just riding and having fun that I want to share with you guys, but it also keeps me riding. And not just riding, but riding to my best potential, because something about filming yourself while riding pushes you to do tricks that you wouldn't normally do. It's kind of like the same concept of doing a competition. It's gonna bring out the best of you, maybe the worst of you at sometimes, but for the most part, it's gonna bring out tricks that you haven't done before, and maybe that you haven't even thought to try before. There's been so many times mid-video I'm filming a clip and I'm like, hey, you know what guys? I think I want to try a new trick today. And that's when I started my Today I Learned series. I was literally just filming with my GoPro one day and I was like, dude, let's do a new trick and let's film the process. That right there was captured, and I made an entire video on that you guys loved. It was so much fun to do, and it really pushed me to learn the trick, because not only did I feel like I was doing the trick for myself, but I felt like I was doing it for all the younger riders out there that maybe haven't learned the trick yet, or maybe just want to see a pro rider fall a whole bunch. I mean, I don't know what you guys are up to every day, but maybe that's something you guys want to see. And without an action sports camera, I wouldn't have been able to film that, because most of the time I ride by myself. So I wouldn't have actually been able to capture that entire video to share with you guys. So not only do you guys benefit from getting to see the video, but I really benefit from having the action sports camera, because it allows me to go outside every day and want to go film something new and push myself to the highest level that I can, because I know not only are you guys going to be satisfied when I land a new trick or do something really huge and awesome, but I know I'm going to be super satisfied when I watch the clip back and I'm like, I'm so glad I got that banger on film. This spot right here seems like a perfect place to talk about all the attachments that are available for your action sports cameras. There's so many different ones, and I've just bought this kit for like $15 off of Amazon. I'll have it linked down below in the description. It can be used for any kind of action sports camera. It predominantly is used for GoPro, as you guys can see right here, all the GoPro attachments attached onto this, but all these little like twists and turns can be used for literally any action sports camera. So for starting off, I always carry a chest mount with me. There's a lot of times that kids at skate parks don't have a GoPro mount on their helmet. So my go-to is the chest mount. Literally the coolest thing about having an action sports camera, being able to put attachments like this on kids at the skate park, so I can get clips of them riding and everybody can just have a lot of fun together. Also, you can attach floaties and things like that too, so you can swim in pools. A lot of action sport cameras are waterproof, which means all you gotta do is just strap some kind of thing that floats, and then you can take it into the water with you. A little handy dandy tripod, you know, those things can just like mount on right here, and then you're good to go getting those self-film tripod clips. Super easy. Another thing I like to carry is this little like Instagram adapter, which basically just turns the camera sideways like that so I can get an Instagram line. There's so many attachments that you guys can use for these kind of cameras, and it's really endless, and it really lets you guys get super creative. As you guys saw in the first shot of today's video, I literally just had the GoPro mounted onto my scooter deck, and it was just me walking onto the half pipe. It was super cool, and I just love getting creative with all the GoPro shots, between the first person point of view, the third person, the crazy weird mounted on the handlebar shots, and just things like that are super fun. That's a great reason to get an action sports camera, because you ain't gonna be strapping a huge camera on your helmet and then doing a flare. Nah, it's not gonna happen, I promise. The GoPro weighs enough, and I can tell you from experience, you don't want to have a lot of weight on your helmet while doing a flip. With that right there, let's go ahead and bring this video to a close. Now, like I said in the beginning, this video was not about a review of a specific action sports camera or trying to persuade you guys to buy a specific brand or any kind of like specific model of camera. This was specifically talking about why you might want to buy an action sports camera to progress your own skills and just in general have fun riding your scooter, bike, skateboard, whatever you guys are riding. You don't have to be riding a scooter. But if you guys are interested in hearing what cameras I would recommend, I'll have them linked down below in the description, where it'll take you right to Amazon, where you guys can check all the cameras out that I would recommend and that I've personally used. I won't put one in there that I wouldn't recommend or use myself. But that right there is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys are now going to go out and buy your first action camera, or maybe post your first YouTube video. It is so much fun to film these videos with my action sports camera and then post them on YouTube for you guys to see. The response I get is usually amazing, and it really pushes me to want to ride more, all due to having an action sports camera. Without this camera that I've had for like the past 6 years, I wouldn't be filming a lot of YouTube videos, that's for sure. But let's go ahead and wrap it up here. If you guys liked today's video, give me a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you guys are not yet subscribed to my channel. And also make sure to go down in the comments and let me know, do you guys use an action sports camera? If so, what brand do you guys use? You might catch me using it in my next video. Until then, later.